Hello, in this video I am going to show you how to set up PHP or get an environment set up so you can develop for PHP on a Mac. If you're interested in Linux, Windows, feel free to check out those videos which I have as well. So on Mac for PHP there are several different ways to go about it. In fact you can whip up a server using the terminal without actually even installing anything. But for more advanced features like databases and just general extra features, or just general sort of I'll say better debugging and better control, I would install some sort of external server, and the one we are going to use is Xamp, which is a cross-platform Apache, MySQL, PHP and Perl server. We're not interested in the Perl side, we're only interested in the Apache, which is the server itself, MySQL, which we'll be using in later on for databases, and PHP, which is the language. Okay, so there's two things that you need to download, and the first one is Xamp. So if you literally just Google Xamp, and I'll provide a link to everything that you need anyway. So just go to Mac, download whatever the latest version is, and you'll start downloading. I want to cancel it because I've already got it downloaded. Next, what you want is a text editor or some sort of IDE where you're going to be developing your websites in. I'm choosing Brackets because not only is it free, it is heavily supported. Well, it's made by Adobe, the Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Adobe, heavily supported by them. It's open source as well. There's a lot of plugins. It works very lean, very well. You can use something else, that's fine. So this is an optional step. If you have another text editor, feel free to use that. So I'm gonna click download and click cancel because I've already got it. So that's the reason I'm canceling the download. We will need Chrome later on. So let me just close Chrome down for the moment. And now what you want to do is basically install both of these. So if I open up Xamp, the DMG, if I double click that, okay, there we go. And literally you want to drag that into the application folder. I've already got in there, so I'm going to click replace. You'll copy it over, shouldn't take long. Next, you want to install Brackets. So again, just open that up, drag that onto your application folder, and preparing to copy Brackets. Replace, obviously because I've already got it, so hence why it's saying replace. Otherwise for you it will be, you'll just start copying it. So once this is done, this is technically everything installed that we need, and we'll just need to run the server, and I'll show you where your files will go, but we'll get onto that in a moment. So this is almost done, a few more seconds. Okay, so what we can do is eject these two. We don't need these anymore. And now what we are going to do is first of all open Xamp. So if we go to applications and go to Xamp right here, ignore the Xamp folder, that's from a slightly older installation. You may or may not have that, so just ignore that. Just follow the steps as I'm showing you. So click on start. So this will start the server. It's just orange, mean it's in the process of starting. Once it's green, that means it has successfully started it. And it shouldn't take long, probably like 10-20 seconds max. Just waiting for the server to start. Okay, so it is still going, still in the process of starting the server. And okay, that's all done now. We have this IP address, which I will explain in a second what it is. Go to services, and you want to start these services up. They should automatically start from once you've started the server. If they do not, just click start all, and they'll basically just start. So really the only two that we mainly need are Apache for PHP, MySQL is for stuff like databases and Pro FTP, Ds for file transfer stuff. And network, we're going to get onto that in a second. So now the server's actually all started. And if we go to our web browser, so let me open this up. If you copy this link right here and paste it, paste it in there, click enter, this opens up. And if I show you something, if I go back to Xamp, I click stop, and I try and load this URL up, it will not work anymore, and that is because the server has been shut down. So this is where the server is. So if I click start again, let me just start it again, and just wait patiently for it to start. Okay, still waiting. I'm not going to shut it down again. I should be able to show you everything else I want to show you in this video without having to shut it down again. So the fact that it's loaded means that part of the server has started, and it will go green any moment now. This IP address may be different. So, I mean, and not just on your computer compared to mine. I mean, your computer, and then maybe a few days later, you try it again. This IP address may have been allocated to something else, so it might be different. So we want a more elegant solution. So let's just start all these as well. And they should go green any moment now. So instead, we want to be able to open it up with this URL. So localhost. So localhost :8080. At the moment, that doesn't work. If I click enable for that one, it works now. So that basically takes us to the same place. So what is this dashboard all about then? So this is the built-in thing. You can go to phpMyAdmin where your databases are, which we'll be covering later in this series. Go to PHP info, which will basically show us all information about our PHP server, like version, the supported features, etc. And so we're on version 7.3.7, which is cool. And now what we want to do is, where is all our code? So if you go to volumes, go to mount, and that will have mounted it right here. If I open that up, and what we are interested in is in the htdocs. This is basically where all of our files are. So when we first go to the website, like the server like that, it looks for the file that you specified. If you don't specify a file, you go to the index.html or .php page, which is the .php, and in here, if I open this up with brackets, click open. So your may look slightly different depending on what sort of color you are using. I mean, and what sort of themes as well, because you can go to all sorts of stuff that you can change in here. Like if you go to preferences, you can change the font to the dark theme. Yours might look slightly different. All of that cool stuff. So if I go back to index.php, this is basically just doing a redirect to dashboard, which is this right here, which is basically this page. And if I was to essentially, let me just show you, if I rename this to like 7, for example, anything that's not indexed, and I try and go to it, it'll just list out the files there because it cannot find a default file, which is what the index.php is. So for the purpose of this series, we're going to have a folder called tutorial, and we are going to say tutorial, and there we go, that folder is now there. So what we want to do is open it up with brackets. So click file, open folder, and then from here I want to go to okay, so I might just drag it on instead. Drag on htdocs, so we get literally everything. So htdocs is open, and then in tutorial, and we can right click, go to new file, type in index.php, and I'll explain all of this at a later date, what this echo stuff does, and I'm gonna put hello world. So save that, and I did accidentally close it as well, but now if I go to that, it picks up that file, and it has not picked it up because I forgot all about these tags, hence why we will not get any syntax highlighting. Now if I reload it, it just prints out hello world. But again, I'm going to explain all of that stuff at a later date. And apart from that, we're all done. We are all set up for PHP. Another thing to bear in mind is once you are done, just click on mount, just go to disable, and stop all this. Actually, or what you can do is just click stop, and that will literally shut down the volume. It will turn off the network. Still saying that it's active, but as you can see, it won't work, but it'll just be active again, when we, next go into it. And the services have been shut down. The overall server has been shut down as well. And actually, I'm not going to show you in here, but another thing that you can do, once you click start and it's loaded, if you go to application, that will essentially just load up the website. So if you, having some trouble, going to the URL via, the website via the IP address or via the local host address, then you can literally just go to application. And that is it for this video. Any questions, feel free to pop me a message. And like I said, you can use any text editor that you want. I'm going to be using Bracket because I think it's a fantastic IDE, has a lot of features, a lot of plugins, really fast, free, and it's open source, and it's available on literally every platform. So thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.